Hey guys, surprise, I'm live. I'm gonna wait for some people to jump on here before we start chit-chatting. It always takes a minute for you guys to get notified. Oh. Hey Michelle, how are you? Hey Pam, surprise, surprise, I'm live. Hey Stephanie from Florida, whoop whoop. Hey Mary, let me know where you're tuning in from. It's a surprise. I decided to go live. I figured we'd have a wine chat or a coffee chat or a tea chat, just a chat. I got a glass of wine. Miss Clayton from Texas, hello. Another Texas Ann, Texas Clayton. My sister just bought a house in Texas, one of my sisters. She's the last one to leave California. Hey, Susan from Florida. We got Florida and Texas in the house. Massachusetts. Mary, hello. So I wanted to tell you, I just finished emptying out the guest room, or what is soon to be the guest room. I did that today. Oh my gosh, it was so much work. I have so much stuff. I don't know what to do with it all. You're making my chicken tacos. Awesome. Somebody asked for the recipe, and I was supposed to write the recipe out in the description of that video, and I totally forgot. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Jennifer from Arizona. Pam's also from Massachusetts. Awesome. But that room was so full. And then so the hallway between the loft and what is now the guest room is full of furniture for my son to come pick up. And then I got everything else out of there. Well, not everything. There's still a few things like my candles I still haven't launched. I promise one day I'm going to do it. Those are up there. Ernie needs to move those to the little breezeway between the attic and the upstairs. And then everything else I can just put in the center of the room when I paint. It's just a couple of things, no big deal. So I got that done today. So that was nice. Arizona's hot. You guys are in a heat wave right now. Actually, Ryan Hall, y'all said y'all might get some life-threatening heat this week, which is kind of scary. Ooh. You're liking my new hair? It's kind of messy today. She gave me, so this hairstylist that I went to, it's not my regular hairstylist, but my regular hairstylist, I had to cancel with her because I had been up at 2 a.m. and I had an appointment with her and I was exhausted, so I had to take a nap. And then I just she couldn't get me in until like much later, and I couldn't live with my hair anymore. So I went and saw a new stylist, and I'm sure my regular stylist is bummed because she watches my channel. She probably saw this and said, oh my God, I lost her. But look, I can't do anything backwards here. Anyways, looks like I didn't brush my hair because this does not belong there. This goes over here. Okay. So anyways, because I needed to go back to my natural colors. It matches my eyebrows now. It just kept getting blonder and blonder and blonder. And then I just was like, woo, I felt like I was all drowned out with the blonde hair. So I gave up on it. Hey, Marie. Oh, hey, Jennifer. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. Anyway, so I went to a hairstylist up the street. She's literally around the corner, works out of her parents' house. She built a salon on her parents' property. And that's so reminiscent of California because the hairstylist I had there, she had built a salon on her, attached to her house. Thank you, Marie. I love it. I love it. Oh, thank you, Dina. That's so sweet of you to watch while you're at work. But anyways, so I went and I was like, I'm ready. I'm just ready for a change. I'm ready to go back to my natural color. And although I'm going to have to use like the spray to hide the gray roots in between colors, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's going to be fine. I'll be fine. Thank you, Stephanie. It's my natural color. So of course it looks better because it's the color it's supposed to be, except for the highlights. I don't have highlights in my hair, but they're very minimal. The picture I showed her, she nailed it. She nailed the picture. The cut. Anyway, she traveled with Fidel so soon, and it turns out she lived in the same neighborhood that Ernie and I bought our first house in San Diego. And the salon I worked at, the last salon I ever worked at before I retired from hairstyling, her friend's mom owned it. I mean, talk about a small world. Crazy. And she's like literally around the corner. It's wild. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. I haven't drank cucumber water in a while. Well, I get it from, what's it called? When I'm craving it, I just go to, oh gosh, what's it called? Kava, and get it from Kava. Tonight I'm having wine, a glass of white wine. It's been a crazy day. I want to tell you guys what happened this morning. It scared the crap out of me, first of all. I'm the kind of person, I told you guys in the last video, Ernie calls me a catastrophizer, and he is certainly the yin to my yang. Thank you, babe. I know you're watching or listening to this video because you always do. He's in Florida. Everybody say hi to Ernie in Florida. But he's the yin to my yang. And so he says, you're a catastrophizer, because I always go to the worst place when something happens. And, oh, I'm happy you caught my live. Hey, BB. Sorry, guys. I have to say hello to everybody in between my story. Kava is amazing. You'll love it. Virginia's in the house. Oh, it went so good, you guys. The dinner went really well. I made those gigantic trays of enchiladas, rice, and beans. I would say 3/4 of everything got eaten, and I sent the rest home with my son and daughter-in-law because her mom and dad were still staying there. So, yeah. Florida, another Floridian in the house. So anyways, I'm getting ready to film. Actually, I was literally upstairs, and I heard the phone ring, and so I came running down the stairs as fast as I could. I don't run down the stairs. I thought maybe it was Ernie, so I'm, coming down the stairs as fast as I could. I get the phone, I see it's my realtor, and I get super excited. I'm like, oh, maybe there's an offer on the country house, because we had a showing on Saturday. And it was, it was a good showing, but no offers yet. But anyway, so I call him back, and he says to me, he goes, he goes, it's nothing super urgent. He goes, I just wanted to say to you or let you guys know that I just got a phone call from a construction company and in Nashville. And they asked if, they said, we know that you're the listing agent for this property. Are the owners of the property getting a new roof put on? And he said, no, no, they are not. It's a brand new build. And she goes, okay. She goes, because we have a signed contract by so-and-so. She gave the name and said he signed a contract. It was for over $15,000 with a cashier's check paid in full for a new roof for the property. And Josh said, that's not my owner. And no, they are not getting a new roof. And so she said, okay, we thought something was fishy. That's why we reached out to you, blah, blah. So I'm immediately panicking, right? I'm the panicking. I'm going to the worst case scenario. Somebody stole our property. We didn't know about it. Now they're doing things to it. I don't know. I'm like freaking out. So I'm like, well, what do I do? And he goes, let me talk to some people here in the office and find out. Blah, blah, blah. He goes, but the construction company sent over the signed contract. They sent over the cashier's check, a copy of it. They sent over his name, his phone number, and everything. And he goes, I'm going to forward that to you guys. So he forwarded it to me. I sent it over to Ernie. I called Ernie and I said, hey, this is what happened. And Ernie goes, I'm going to call him. So I'm like, okay. So anyways, our realtor texts back and he says, you guys need to file a report with the police department. So we said, okay. So I called the police department and they asked for the address and they said, "Oh, you're county, so you've got to call the sheriff's department." So I called the sheriff's department. They had a detective call me back, not a detective, an officer call me back. And so I told him the whole story, and he's like, "It's kind of weird." And in the meantime, while I'm waiting for this phone call, our realtor texts us and he says that he thinks what's happening is this person is hoping that the construction company deposits the check and he's able to get like the routing number or something from them and like steal from them or something weird. I don't know. I don't know how fraud works because I don't fraud people. I don't know how, because I was confused. I'm like, I don't understand how this would even benefit him. You know what I mean? Like, and so the officer called and, I told him the whole story and I said that to him. I go, I don't even understand how this is fraud. Like for us, like, I don't know how it would benefit him. And he's like, yeah, he goes, the sheriff's here and the police officer, because we got pulled over. I have to tell you that story too. Ernie got pulled over, not me, but, they're so funny here. They're just like, they're talkative, like they talk to you, like they're so nice. And so anyways, we had this great conversation. He was telling me, I asked him if he wanted to buy the house. And he said he couldn't afford it. And he told me his budget was $150,000. And I said, well, I can't help you there. But he goes, I don't know how it would benefit him either. I mean, you guys would get a new roof out of it. And I'm like, we don't need a new roof. It's a brand new house. And so anyways, it was a great conversation with him. So he took an incident report down and I wanted to have that. And he was going to attach, I forwarded him, he gave me his email. I forwarded to him the proof of fraud, like the cashier's check and all that kind of stuff. And he was going to attach it to the report. So now I'm waiting for a detective to call me if they need to call me, because he said nothing has really happened to you other than the fact that they're using your address, because I was panicked. I'm thinking he stole our house and now he's putting a new roof, because when the construction company called him, because I called the construction company and I said, I'm the owner of the address and you do not have any permission to do any work on that property. I just want to be clear about that. And she said, oh, we totally know. She goes, everybody in this office is aware of the situation and we all know that it's fraudulent. Like, I guess he was, the bank is in Florida. His address is in Kentucky, but the check was mailed from Texas. It was something like that like caught their eye. And so they knew right off the bat that something was off about it. And that's why they reached out to the agent, that has the property listed, our property. So I'm so thankful they were savvy enough to catch that. I don't know what would have happened, but how crazy would that if Ernie and I would have showed up and been like, wow, that's a new roof. What happened? I mean, weird, right? So anyways, they're trying to get your 𝓬𝓸𝓷. Is that where Ernie said his company is doing? I'm sorry, just caught that squirrel. No, that's not it. There's a job they're going after in Florida and it's on the beach. And I'm like, you better get that job. But anyways, I was just like super scared, and so Ernie called the guy, he called the number and the person didn't answer. And the construction company is trying to get to the bottom line of where the cashier's check has come from, like whose account, because they called to verify the check to make sure the funds were there. And the bank said, yes, the funds are there. Like it's, whatever. And, they need to find out where that money came from, because those are the people who are being robbed. Like they're stealing from them. So, oh my gosh. It's crazy, Dina, right now with everything happening with like fraud and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like all my accounts are like now all this crazy stuff. They have to text me before I sign in, like all this weird stuff, which I'm grateful for. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to go through all the extra steps, but it's wild. I guess fraud is on the rise right now. So totally crazy. But anyway, so that scared the crap out of me, but we got that handled. So that was my morning. And I was still kind of dealing with that while I was starting my video this morning, which you guys will see tomorrow. And oh my gosh. So I need you guys to tune in tomorrow because I have 4 paints. 2 I omit immediately in the video. And then I have 2, but I have 1 that I think I really love. So you guys are going to have to tune in and help me with that. I hope you guys see it as well as I did, because I already previewed the video on TV and I think everything is good. In my last video, I must have hit something on my camera because the filming was awful. And the worst part about that is you cannot go back and retake. You can't refilm when you've done something, you know? So I just had to kind of put it out there, and it was really poor, like the quality. And I don't know why that happened. Here's my camera. So my camera has all these buttons here and all these buttons on top right there. So if I hit one of those, and then on my screen, let's see if I can, and then on my screen, all these, well, you can't really see it because see all these buttons on the screen. If I hit something, I've videoed where I accidentally turned the sound off. I've slow-moed the video, so I got all the footage and I uploaded it, and it was all in slow motion. I mean, the things that I do with this camera. So you have to be very careful with the camera. So I must have hit something which really maybe turned the 4K off, because this camera films in 4K, and I must have done that. So it was really crummy, and so I was so bummed. So I apologize for that. And then as far as my sound goes, I have this mic here, but this thing has an insane microphone on it. So my camera, it picks up every stinking sound that you can think of. So I'm not talking any different than, I'm talking normal. And then when I do my voiceovers, I'm actually not sure if I need to re-edit and re-upload tomorrow's video, which won't take me that long, because I lowered the volume from my was it from my voiceover? No, from the camera, because it was so much louder than this. And now when I listen to it, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I should just leave it. So, you know, I always have technical issues because I'm not a techie and all of this is new to me. So and it shouldn't be, I'm just not a techie. And I also have, which Ernie bought for me because he's such a supportive and wonderful husband, this whole packet here, and it is microphones. So I have this microphone, and it's got the little fuzzy wuzzies for him. I've got 2. So he and I could both be mic'd up when I just don't know how to do it. So what I need to do, and I have zero patience, is read this, and it's probably super simple. I just need to do it. And I've had these for 6 months or longer. I'm just really bad about this kind of stuff. It even has, I think, a remote. So I don't know. It's crazy. So I need to do that, and that would just solve most of the sound issues, because like I said, when I do voiceovers, it's different. And sometimes I use just the little microphone that's on these earphones, this little microphone here, and it works just fine. And sometimes I use this guy. So, but I need to get a better one of these. I think this one was only like $30. So I need to get a better, more professional one. So I want everything to be good, and I don't always think of everything. So there's that. But anyways, yeah, so that was a crazy story. And then I'm going to tell you about Ernie getting pulled over. So we were driving out to the country house, and we're just driving, and we're driving down the road, and there was a sheriff or a police officer who had a car pulled over. He was giving him a ticket. So we just passed by, no big deal. And all of a sudden that cop pulls out and he comes and he pulls us over. And I look at Ernie, I'm like, what'd you do? He goes, I don't know. Ernie's an excellent driver and always goes the speed limit. And so uh, he pulls over and the officer comes over to my side of the car. I roll the window down. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, what happened? He goes, well, I don't, I had somebody pulled over and I don't know if you guys know this, but you need to change lanes and not stay in the lane next to, the inside lane. When I have somebody pulled over, you need to go to the outside lane and go around. And we're like, oh, okay. I said, we've never been pulled over for that before. That was common all the time when we're in California. And he goes, yeah, I hear that from California drivers all the time. He said, but it's a law in every state. He goes, just some of us push it or practice it than others. So if you didn't know that, that is against the law and you can get a ticket for it. But he didn't give us a ticket. He was very sweet. He just gave us a warning and then told us some great places to go eat. And we chatted and, all that kind of stuff. And so he was very nice. So the police officers here are very funny. It's very, very nice to talk to sweet human beings that, actually take the time to talk to you and, share tips with you and just have a conversation. It doesn't always have to be bad. And so that's Ernie. Sorry, babe, I just outed you. He got pulled over. So anyways, I thought that was pretty funny that the officer just kind of chit-chatted with us. So, okay, and now I want to talk about the comment. So I was just being petty with the sharing that comment with you guys on my tab, because I deal with those every now and again. I would probably say once a week, I probably get a really nasty comment like that. And it's a keyboard warrior, somebody who's maybe having a bad day or a bad life or whatever it is. And they just decide they're going to go out and just attack whoever they can attack. And so she was hoping to get a rise out of me, and they never do. I never respond. I immediately block them every single time. Sometimes I'll clap back and hope, and I'll leave it. And you guys probably don't even see it because I'll leave it for a little bit, hoping that they see my response. And then I block them because I have to clap back, and say, gosh, it must be awful to be that, that awful of a person. Yeah. He did. Sherry, that's funny. Yeah. So anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys because I wanted you to see how nasty people can be, and all content creators have to deal with that. And so I remember very specifically when I first started my channel, there is, oh my gosh, This Crazy Life. Is that what it's called? This Crazy Life? Amanda. She's now getting divorced. She had 3 little boys. They moved to Arizona. And she just moved into her rental. It's This Crazy Life is the name of it. Her name's Amanda. And I don't know what happened, but they're getting divorced. That's her private life. And so anyhow, I remember specifically her sitting in her car filming and just bawling her eyes out because people were making comments about her body, about her being overweight or whatever. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I can't believe that somebody would do that. Like, I can't believe, I do now because I watch YouTube and I see how ugly people are in the world. Like not these my kind of shows, but you know what I mean? And so, and then the news and all the ugliness that's happening in our world. But I couldn't believe that a content creator would get attacked about her personal appearance, about anything really, because I watch a lot of channels and I don't agree with some things that they do. And I don't feel like it's my right to go to their channel and say, if I were you, I would do this or I would do that. Just say you like it or don't comment or just give it a thumbs up or whatever it is. But you don't attack, a content creator. Constructive criticism is so different than just plain old mean criticism. And I think a lot of people just don't understand that there's a difference with those. But But these people, they do not get to me at all when they're like that ugly, because you can tell immediately that they're a miserable human. And so that's why I shared the whole comment, and I shared her name because I will always out people, always, when they're ugly. There's also the young moms who get attacked for the way they mom, for what they feed their kids. There's one, I'm not going to say who it is. She's beautiful. And I was talking to her on Instagram, and she was telling me that they always come after her for her looks. And I'm like, well, that's just jealousy because you're gorgeous. You know what I mean? And I just think it's so crazy that humans can do that, can be that ugly, to essentially a complete stranger. It's somebody they don't know. And I really do believe, and you guys know I say this all the time, it totally has to do with the disconnect from human contact. People are so used to communicating via online and via text that they've lost that human interaction. Like the people have lost the, being cordial and being kind, and, they've just lost it because they can say whatever they want and then they don't have to go back and look at the response, or they can argue and, there's no repercussions for that. And so people have just lost their complete disconnect. And that's why I think in today's society, it's so important that parents have their kids involved in extracurricular activities outside of school, like sports and, art classes and whatever, karate, whatever it is. Because that ensures that the kids are going to have interaction, with other humans, and they're going to learn how to behave. And, I think that it's taught at our church, where my grandsons all go to school. And I know that my sons and my daughter-in-laws teach that, and they all have friends and family and, large families and stuff. So they're always around other humans. And that's always been my concern. It's like, is there a balance with, the computers? Because you're watching adults or millennials, people that are my kids' age. And I say kids, but my son's 41. So it's like, what the heck, but people that age and younger, and they've lost this human connection. They don't know how to be nice. They just don't. They just figure it's a free world. I can say whatever I want and do whatever I want, and I have no consequences. It's just fine. So when people are ugly like that, 9.5 out of 10 times they get blocked immediately. I read the comment and I'm like, wow, that was mean. And then I block them, and I don't give it a second thought. If it bothers me, I usually will text the comment to Ernie, and then me and Ernie will have a powwow about it. And then I'll type my response just to get it out of my system. And then I delete. Because it's not worth it. They're just not worth my time and energy. And honestly, I say this from the very beginning. You guys know this. You surround yourself with things that you love, and it's going to be beautiful in your home. And so, I love that you guys like what I do, but I don't think that everybody that watches my channel wants to decorate their house like me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I can give you an idea, like, oh, maybe I should put sconces, but maybe you wouldn't choose the sconces that I chose. You know what I'm saying? Or the artwork that I choose. I like a collection of artwork, different kinds of artwork. Maybe you're somebody who likes, I don't know, Target. What is that brand that everybody buys? Maybe you like that kind of artwork, which they do have some really cool pieces. 𝓪𝓻𝓭𝓮𝓷 what's it called? Hand and hearth or something. Maybe you like that, and you like everything to be matchy-matchy. Ernie likes everything matchy-matchy. So, he had to get used to the way I like to decorate. And so, but he's getting into it because he selected that beautiful photo or piece of work there. You can't really see because the windows are reflecting on it, but he's got a good eye. Ernie has a really good eye for stuff. So, but anyways, my hope is that I can share food recipes, I can share inspiration for cleaning or doing laundry, or maybe there's a tip or a trick, or maybe sometimes I share things and I don't even think it's a tip. I don't even think it's something worth sharing. And one of you guys or several of you guys will comment and say, oh my God, I didn't know that. Or thanks for sharing that, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing, And so I think it's awesome, that I'm able to do that. So that makes me so happy. And I think that's what the channel is all about. So those people, they don't. And you know what? None of them are ever a subscriber. None. They're never a subscriber. It's funny because the ones that are the rude, I've seen her before. She's commented before, but she's not a subscriber because and I don't care if I lose subscribers having to delete people. So I'll delete them and go, well, there goes a subscriber. And then I go check my subscriptions and nobody has left. So they're not even subscribers, these people that are that rude. So yeah, let me read some of these comments here. And I just finished feeding Pete. Yesterday, Mr. Pete came, I shared on Instagram, he came back. So he came and had his carrots. And so now Mr. Bold, after he's done with his carrots, he comes jumping up on the patio towards me like, hey, lady, I need more, and I tell him, no, you can't have any more. I shouldn't be feeding him carrots every day anyways. I just read about that because I wanted to be sure that I was doing something okay. And I am doing something really nice, but they're used to leafy things. And so carrots every now and again are fine. Actually, I think these guys are so active. It's not like he's going to get fat by eating the carrots, but you guys were kind enough to suggest other things to me. So I'm going to look into that. Ernie just doesn't want me to feed him at all because he's afraid. Well, everybody said he's going to bring everybody with him. No, it's just him. You guys, he's so stinking smart. Today I was watching my video. I was editing and then I had to proof watch my video. He usually comes between 4 and 5. And so I was late today. I went out there at like 5:15 and I didn't see him. And I sat down. And as soon as I sat down, he comes jumping around the corner. He's like, hey, I'm here, and he's so funny. But it's just him, no other rabbit. But anyways, yesterday he came, he had his carrots, and then he left. And he was down past the arbor wall on the little hill. And I could see him in between the trees. And I said, okay, well, he's going to leave, no big deal. No, he came running right back up all the way to the patio. And he looked at me like, you got more? So I had to give him seconds. And I put it all on Instagram. He's funny. He's very smart. He's super smart. And they like to eat the hair on the corn husk. Oh. He's so stinking cute. I love him. And I like that. And I'll feed him. Hey, Lupe. You did, Rose. You made a live. Whoop, whoop. Hey, Oralia. And I don't mind that he eats my flowers, but he doesn't anymore. Like he ate what was in my maple tree. He deflowered all of those, or the bunnies in general. There was more than one came and would eat the flowers, and I didn't even care, because they're so cheap and whatever, it's fine. But they've left and nibbled on my hostas, and that's pretty much it. They mainly eat the grass, and Pete likes the weeds in the grass. And so I'm totally okay with him coming and eating the weeds that pop up in the grass. So totally fine. Hey, Kathy. Hi, Diana. He looks like a hare. I don't know technically what they are. I just call him a bunny, a rabbit. They're very smart, and they bury their babies in the ground. So my daughter-in-law said she heard that if you have a brown spot in your grass, like a random brown spot, and you don't have pets, that typically that's where they've dug, and buried their babies, and then they cover back up. So I was telling my hairdresser that, and the owner came over and he said, you know what? He goes, you're right. The rabbits are crazy, because that's about when Pete started visiting me. And so I was telling her about it. And I was saying, they're so brave. Like, he's so brave. He comes over and he goes, They are brave. He goes, the other day I was mowing my lawn and this rabbit was chasing the lawnmower, as I was going. And I said, you probably have, that rabbit probably has a nest in your yard. And he goes, he did, or she did. It did. He said, because I found it. So that rabbit was so smart. It was trying to get him to stop mowing because there was a rabbit's nest, or their nest was in the yard. And so that's why Ernie likes to keep the grass low. He wants to make sure that, because they'll usually will do it in taller grass. So he wants to make sure. But I'm pretty sure that one day, if not, we haven't already, had baby bunnies buried in our garden, because you guys will see in tomorrow's video. I'm going to give you guys an overview of the backyard in the beginning of the video, and it's so lush and huge. Everything is gigantic. The wisteria has just taken off. It's crazy. And so I'm going to give you guys an overview of that tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised if next spring, everything that I planted that comes back, when it comes back, that I get bunnies that are buried in my garden, for sure. I love the wildlife. I love them. And I love my birds bathing in the bird bath. Ernie still has to figure out a way to keep water going into it, because when it was so hot, it was so hard to get water to stay in it, obviously. And then I one day forgot about it, and my little bubbler burnt out and stopped working. So that was a bummer. But the robins are the ones who really enjoy that bird bath. They love it. And they will spend hours in that bird bath. They love it. So you're so nice, Dina. Thank you. They're so fun to watch. They don't do a ton of harm, I don't think. I don't know. I haven't noticed. We have a ton of rabbits around here. Pete is the only one that I ever see anymore. And, maybe he's like, hands off. This is my yard. This is my person. I don't know. But I know it's the same rabbit that comes to visit me every day because he has a routine, right? He hears my voice. And when I do an Instagram video, before I post it, or as I'm editing it, you can hear me. He can hear me on the voice, or he can hear my voice when I'm editing it while he's eating his carrots. And he can hear me say, "Hey, Pete, you ready for your carrots?" Like he'll hear me say that in the video, and he stops and he looks, looks at me. I don't know. I just feel like he knows we have a bond. Him and I, we have a very special bond. I think it's very cool, and everybody should be like that with the wildlife. Respect them, and they respect you, because like I said, we haven't had any damage from rabbits, Bunny, with as many rabbits that we see around here. The neighbor across the street asked me, how do I keep flowers in my front yard? And I said, well, I just water them. And he goes, no. He goes, we plant them. And he goes, the next day we come and they're gone. The rabbits eat them all the way to the ground. And I was like, oh, wow. I don't know. They don't bother my flowers, or haven't yet, knock on wood. And it's been, 3 seasons now. And I haven't had any. Well, the coleus, they went after the coleus. My bad, because I planted them way too early. They're finally putting on growth. But they don't eat, and I totally butchered all of my hydrangeas in the front yard. Now they just look like green bushes because the rain was that we had so much rain, and those flowers get so waterlogged. They were just hanging and looked horrible. So now they just look like green bushes with a few hydrangeas on them, but they were just so full of hydrangeas. But the back is full of hydrangeas now too. You guys will see. I have so many hydrangeas back there. But anyways, yeah. Okay, let's see. Hi from the Delaware beaches. Lucky you. Oh, I love that they love to run through the sprinklers. We have birds that do that when Ernie would put the sprinkler in the backyard. We have birds that would fly through and stop and shake. They would bathe in the sprinkler. It's so cute. I'm like, we're like a habitat for them. They come, they have their bath, they eat some food. It's so cute. Too, there's I don't know what species it is of bird, but there was a lot of babies. Oh, and the other day, really quick, as I walked outside, I saw 2 cardinals fly from the bird feeder toward the bird bath, right? I scared them because I heard the door open. And then from the porch, I told Ernie, I said, another bird flew like from the patio to the arbor wall. And I said, it was like a pink, like had a pink hue to it. It was so beautiful as it was flying away. I was like, wow, I've never seen that kind of bird before, that color. And so I looked up the female cardinal, and it was a female cardinal. So there was 2 males and 1 female, one that I could see in my backyard. And but there's another species of bird where the babies are so much bigger than the mom. It's wild. And they're super fat and chubby. And I was shocked that they were the babies, but I was watching the moms, or whoever, I would just say it's the moms, but I probably sound so silly. But anyways, digging they don't eat the bird seed. The babies eat the worms, and so, or the bugs. And so the mom would be, hunting for the bugs and the worms, and then going and feeding this big, fat, chubby baby. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the baby's so much bigger than the mom. So I think I don't know. It's wild. It's so wild. So I don't know what kind of bird that is, but I thought that was really weird because you typically would think a baby bird would be so much smaller. Oh, it's so cute. Donna, you're fine. I've only been on for 41 minutes. I usually like to stay on for at least an hour. So if you guys have any questions, make sure to post them. Let me go through and make sure that I don't have any meanies in here. You guys are so sweet. You do have to have thick skin on YouTube. You absolutely do. And I do. I have thick skin, really thick skin. I don't feel like I'm above anybody, but there's only certain people in this world where their opinion matters. And if you're my friend and you give me constructive criticism, then that's what matters to me. I don't get offended by complete strangers. I used to back in the day. Oh my gosh, when I was younger, it didn't matter who. I would just get super offended. But now you don't pay my bills and you don't live with me and this isn't your house, so I don't care. I could care less. I am going to sell my candles, Dragon Nana. I just have to figure out how to do it. It's so embarrassing because I want to be an entrepreneur and I want to have a candle business, but I just can't figure out how to stinking do it. And I pay for my license every month. And every time I pay for my license to the city, I get so mad at myself because I can't figure it out. I cannot. Oh my gosh, the room got so much use on Sunday. We had that big, everybody came over on Sunday and all the guys hung out up there. The grandkids, they loved it up there. The whole house was, there was people everywhere. What everywhere. When I have everybody over, I put the toys in my room and we put the cartoons on for the kids. So the 2 girls, the babies were in there. My granddaughter and her cousin, and then Austin was in and out of there. He was kind of everywhere, and then the golf cart, of course, got a lot of use. And yeah, they really enjoyed the room. Ernie was so nervous. Yeah, he goes, I'm nervous about my room. I'm like, why? He goes, I don't want anything to get ruined. And I'm like, it's going to be fine. And it didn't. And it was lovely. In the lounge, they're on Amazon and they're listed in the video, in the description of the video. They're not in the shop button. For some reason, usually when I add something to the shop button, I get paid commission on it, and I like that. So it's nice, right? It's an extra way to earn income because all my income goes back to decorating. So I haven't been able to link anything lately, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if I have to like redo it, or I don't know what I need to do, but they're just in the description. So I put links in there just in the description. I put like the drapes, the sconces, I put everything in that video. So if you just go down to the description and click on that drop down menu, you'll see everything in that video is in there. My 70s, the 70s drapes. It is like having a new car. It's really nice. It's nice too because the Charger game was on when Ernie got home, and he's like, I should go upstairs and watch the game. He watched it downstairs though. Oh, thank you, Cara. My hair, I love it. Yeah. Yeah, they can be so mean and cruel. It's terrible. People, especially these days, I'm telling you, people are just too much. I don't know. Now, is there a difference between a hare and a rabbit? I don't know. I don't have my phone here to check it. Sorry. The chicken tacos are so stinking easy. I need to write the recipe out. The problem is, I get that a lot. I can give you a recipe, but I don't use recipes a lot. So I just kind of throw stuff together because you know how it is. You guys that have been cooking forever, you got to measure with love. So easy. They're like the most simple tacos. I started making them like that many, many years ago. We would go camping, or we only went a few times with my sister and her husband, and my cousin and her husband and their friends from Colorado. They would go camping every year, and they had a cul-de-sac at the campsite, Lake Siskiyou in California. And they would, is it California? Lake Siskiyou? Am I right or wrong? Or is it Oregon? I don't know. Anyways, Lake Siskiyou. I don't think it's in California, because I think we crossed over into Oregon. I think it's in Oregon. I'm not sure. Anyways, it's been many years. We went with them a couple years, and so we would do theme nights. So every family would have a night where, they would choose a theme night. So it was like we did, what did we do? Fiesta night or something. So I ordered like Mexican hats and maracas and all this kind of stuff online. And then somebody did, and then you would make a dish to go with it, like food, like the main course. And so everybody would do a theme, and it was fun while you're camping. So every night had a theme night for the campsite. So it was really fun. And so I made all the tacos at home, and then, we stored them. When you go camping, those of you who have been camping before, when you're camping for a long time, you have two coolers, the one that gets opened all the time, and then the one that acts like the freezer, or refrigerator that has the blocks of ice in it that you keep in the shade. And that one you only go in when you're pulling something out to cook or what have you, but you don't keep any drinks in there because it's, you want to keep that cold. So I just stored it in our refrigerator cooler and for our theme night, and they were so stinking good. And I just kind of made it up on the fly, because I wanted the tacos to be delicious. And then we fried them that night, and they were so good. And I've been making them like that ever since. So they're really easy to make. My father-in-law made the best chicken tacos. I'm glad you did too. Hey, Terry, I'm glad you're here too. Oh, it was so much fun. What did we do? We did Mexican, like Fiesta night. What is the one? Mardi Gras night. Somebody did like Western night. Just so much fun. It was so much fun. So Western was like, I don't know, I think we did hamburgers and hot dogs, type thing. And then what did we do for Mardi Gras? Because I remember the beads and everything. I don't remember what they made. Pirates. Somebody did Pirates night. So they like put out bags of Pirates booty, and it's so much fun. It's just so much fun. We had a blast. Oh, thank you so much, Ann White. That's very sweet of you. You guys are so nice. I think I have the best channel on YouTube, the best subscribers. We all say that though, right? What old is new again? Yep. Oh, I'm glad, Valerie, you caught me. Yeah. I don't have, and you guys have noticed I don't really have a schedule for videos, which would benefit me if I did. I just don't like to be tied down to schedules because I feel like if I'm on a schedule, I don't do a really great job at the video because I'm in a hurry and I'm not ahead right now. So I'll be ahead when I start filming for Christmas, for fall, and like the holidays. I'll be ahead probably because those I will have to do, in advance and do a lot of them because I'm not the person who can decorate her whole house in one day. Props to the girls who can do that, but I can't. So I'm excited to get this guest room done, which we're starting in tomorrow's video. We're choosing the paint color. So if you guys are new to the chat recently, tomorrow's video, I'm putting up paint colors and I need you guys' help. So I'm hoping they look as good on your phones or TVs or however you watch your iPads, however you watch YouTube, as on my TV and my computer. So it's so funny because they look so different in Sherwin-Williams, and then you bring them home, I'm like, oh my gosh, wow. So yeah, so I'm choosing tomorrow the paint color, and I need to get that solidified so that I can just make the next video, which will come out this weekend, Saturday night or Sunday, I'm not sure. So it would benefit me to have a schedule like, oh, I post a video every Monday and every Wednesday, whatever. I used to try and do that, but I just felt like it was too much pressure, and I want YouTube to be fun. I don't want it to be a bunch of pressure. So I just upload when I upload. But you have noticed that I tried yesterday to upload at 3, and I don't get as many views on those videos when I upload at 3. My videos do great when I upload at 6 p.m. or 6:30. Because I think that's when a lot of subscribers are on, a lot of my viewers are on, and they just do really well. And you want your videos to do really well in the beginning because it lets YouTube know that people are enjoying the video and they push it out to more people. And so they do really well. But when I try and upload at like the 3 o'clock time, like I used to back in the day, they just don't do well. So I have found that. So I won't be doing that again, the 3 o'clock time, even though YouTube keeps telling me that's a good time to do it. It's not. So I'm gonna stick to my 6 p.m., probably 6 p.m. On the days. And I just, like I said, until I get ahead in videos, I can't really say, oh, I'm going to do it on this day and this day. I try and do it one on the weekend and one during the week. I try. I think I've been successful at that. I just don't have like set days. I don't know. I don't know. It just when it's comfortable for me, and they seem to do really well. I think Oh my gosh, the lighting is crazy. I kid you not, all 4 samples in Sherwin-Williams today all looked white, and I was like, I'm so boring. Look at me. This isn't going to be a fun painting video. They're all white. And I got them home and they are so not white. So you guys will see that. Oh, you're so sweet, Francine. Thank you. Hey, Diana. Just tuning in. Awesome. I was hope there's one girl. She's so sweet. And I don't see her on here. I would love to chat with her. She's so sweet. She gives me a super chat for every bit, or a thanks. Is that what it's called? A thanks. She gives me like $1.99 or $4.99 every video. She's so stinking sweet, but she never comments, or she only has a couple of times. And I just think it's so sweet. Like, you don't have to do that, but I think it's so nice of her. It's like every video it's $2, but it's just so sweet that she can do that she does that, You're so nice. Thank you. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Okay. So has anybody watched The Summer I Turned Pretty? Are any of you guys Post in the comments and let me know. Are you Team Jeremiah? You guys have to let me know. And you probably don't know who I'm talking about. If you don't know, if you don't watch I started watching it. I was bored one week. Was it last year? I think it was last year. And I saw it on Netflix. It's on Amazon Prime now, but it was just on Netflix before. And so I found it and I got into it and I watched all the seasons. And then now we're the final season. I think there's only three or four. And this is the final one. And oh my gosh, Michelle, so good. It comes on tomorrow. So I look forward to Wednesday nights now because, it's so good. You have to watch it. It's really good. It's, what is it? Rom-com? I don't know. And it's just really, it's good. I don't know. The books are always better. My sister said she read the books. So she hasn't watched it because she read the books. The books are always better than the actual, series or movie. Always 100%. But yeah, it's on Prime and it's called The Summer I Turned Pretty and it's really good. And this is just started season 1. You're going to love it. The Summer I Turned Pretty. Here, I'll put it in the chat. So good. I won't say anything because Michelle just started season 1, but it is so good. I love it. It's crazy. So now my daughter-in-law is watching it. So now we can chat up about it when we're with each other. Oh, she's moving, Brooke, to Murfreesboro. She's going to love it. Where in Murfreesboro is she moving? Oh, you're sad. You should watch it. It's so good. Where in Murfreesboro is she going? What college is she going to? Hi, cousin Caroline or Penny. My cousin Penny. Oh, I'm so glad, cousin. It's us. We get to visit. And I just found out Liz is moving near Jennifer, just 3 blocks away. Are you moving to San Antonio, cousin? Are you still in California? Because I saw you in all the pictures. When Liz was there visiting, she put pictures and you guys were there. I said, I didn't know Penny moved. My cousin that I'm talking to. Anyway, so The Summer I Turned Pretty is really good. That's what I'm into right now. And then I said I wasn't going to do it, but I got sucked into it again. And I'm disappointed again, but now I have to watch because I just want to punch people in the face. I'm watching the Orange County Housewives again. I cannot believe I got into that show again. It's so trashy. I cannot believe it. So I started watching that when it first came out, and they were nobodies. And Tamra Judge and I were friends on Facebook. And so when she, the show got more and more famous, I guess, whatever. And the, people on those shows do what they do, more Botox and more hair extensions and more eyelashes and all the things. And her and Simon, her husband at the time, started having problems. And they got into a fight or something. And I commented because I used to talk to all my friends on Facebook. I don't do Facebook anymore. So for those of you who maybe comment or write me on Facebook, everything I do on Instagram automatically gets posted to Facebook. So it might look like I'm active on Facebook, but I'm not. I have to go to Facebook, and then I get comments, that I have to answer, and people have tagged me in things, and so I don't go that often over to Facebook. It's usually when I'm looking for something on Facebook Marketplace, and so I'm on Facebook. But anyways, back then I was just Facebook. Instagram was foreign to me, so I commented I wrote a post about Simon. I was like, I'm Team Simon. Tamara was wrong because she's always wrong. She's still wrong to this day. And she got so mad at me. She like told me off, she was a keyboard warrior and told me off on that post. And then she deleted me and blocked me. It was in the beginning. Remember when they would wear those shirts with the big medallions in the front? Now it's just half of them are unrecognizable because they've had so much plastic surgery. It's ridiculous. And okay, I'm from California. I'm a California native. And now I live in Tennessee, and I'm here for almost 3 years. And there are some seriously noticeable differences. And I'm going to tell you a few of those things. And I do not want anybody from California to get offended. I'm a Californian by heart. I was born and raised there. I love California, the state. I don't love the government there and all the nonsense. That's why we left. But I will tell you, I love that state. It's a beautiful state. But I don't want you to get offended. But I'm going to tell you some things that I've noticed that are super noticeable when you leave. First of all, when you live in California and you are under the California law, you are so controlled when you live in California. You are so controlled and you don't even realize it. And it's because it's happened a little bit at a time over the years. And it just becomes the norm because they just do it. You can't water your lawns. I cannot tell you how long it took me, at least a year, if not longer, to where I didn't feel guilty leaving my water running here. Because they have lied to everybody and told everybody that there's a drought when there wasn't a drought. It was just because, well, there's a whole thing. Anyways, I don't believe there was a drought. That's my opinion. And so everybody got rid of their lawns and put in fake grass and they all have desert landscapes. Now, when I go back to California, it looks horrible to me. It's so dry and brown. And I didn't think that when I lived there. Okay. Just so you know. But of course, Tennessee is just green and lush. So you come here for a while and then you go anywhere else, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. So yeah, anyways, there's that huge difference, like as far as like control goes. I remember the first time I was talking, or first few people I talked to about homes here, and I used the term. Now you guys have to let me know in the comments if this is something that you've heard before, that's common, whatever. It's not here. I don't hear it here. But I use the term beginner home. And at least 3 people I used that term with in conversation were like, what home? What are you talking about? Because in California, everybody buys their beginner home. And it's some stay in their beginner home and they never move. They just live there forever. Most do not. They buy their beginner home in hopes to fix it up, gain some equity, sell it, buy a bigger home, and so on and so forth. And they just keep doing that. So I know, cousin, we're going back to, sorry guys, me and my cousin are having a moment. That's what me and Dominique and Viola were talking about day before yesterday, going back to the roots. It's full circle where our parents and grandparents lived. It's awesome. Love it. Anyway, so in California, everybody buys their forever or their beginner home. It's, and so telling that to people here, they're like, what home? I've never heard of that before. Like, what are you talking about? Because in California, it's just normal, you guys. It's just normal. And I'm not saying anything bad about it because I lived there. I lived it. I did it. Okay. It's a keep up with the Joneses constantly. It's a constant thing. If all the kids start riding electric bikes, everybody you have to get an electric bike. People will go broke to get an electric bike. They'll max out their credit cards to get the electric bike because all the kids have it. Everybody has to have one. It's just a keep up with the Joneses type energy in California. It's just common. It's just normal. it's just the way it is. It's not, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it because I lived there and that was just life. You know what I'm saying? Here, it's not like that at all. People are not like that. I mean, I'm sure there's people that are like that. It's just not common. It's not normal here. You know what I mean? Like it was in California. So now when I watch the OC Housewives, it's super apparent to me, you know, like Heather, she's the really rich one who I can't frickin' stand. She had a party and her parties always cost like, you know, what my car cost, like, or even more, what my house costs. Like she spends the hundreds of thousands of dollars on a birthday party. It's ridiculous. And, you know, as if people can afford that. And it's so common in California for people to get high and take gummies. Weed is not a big deal. It's just like nothing, no big deal. You know, everybody's on gummies. Everybody. It's like not even a big deal. She had a party. She was saying, yeah, I hired some people to roll some joints. Like it's just no big deal in California. It's just normal. And yeah, that's what I'm saying, Valerie. Like a lot of, I mean, there's some people in California too that do that. I know people that bought their first home and they stayed in it forever. They've never left, which is fabulous, but it's not, that's not the norm. Most people buy a starter home. It's actually a term, you know, you want to buy your starter home. It's actually a term that people use. It's a thing. Michelle says in Indiana, starter home. Yeah. Heather is fancy pants. Isn't she annoying? Does anybody else, like, she annoys me. She just acts like she's so above everybody in this world. And it's so sad to me. And then I'm watching her, Joe and Tamara on the way to the party the other night. And people are probably going, who is she talking about? Joe and Tamara on the way to the party, and they're praying in the back of the car. They're praying on their way there to like the night to go wonderful and everything. And then Tamara does her thing that she does. She's just too much, that one. I cannot stand her. They're all nuts, all of them. The only one that I can, she came from Jersey, I think. What's her name? The one that doesn't have a big house. She broke up with her boyfriend, or they live separate, and now they're back together again. She has the accent. What's her name? What's her name? The realtor. Her and her boyfriend sell houses together now. Gina, thank you. In the beginning, Gina was normal. Now she's so OC'd out. It's ridiculous. If you've never been to OC, oh my gosh. It's ridiculous. The people are ridiculous. And in California, everybody has to have the 50th birthday party, you know, because that's what they do. And, you know, it's ridiculous. It's so stupid. Yeah. It's 100% fake. It's housewives, but none of them are housewives. I'm like, wait a minute. This must be a housewife show. I don't relate to any of them. In the very beginning, when the OC Housewives started, I think like Tamara, they would show her making the kids lunches, and, you know, they would show them doing school shopping for the kids and all that kind of stuff. And now it has nothing to do with they're not housewives. None of them are. None of them. They're Botoxed out. I don't know what they do. None of them are housewives. I know, Michelle, I'm the same way. It's like a train wreck you can't stop watching. And I'm ashamed to admit it. It's just wild. But you know what? It's entertainment. Like people will say, oh, I'm not watching this actor, or I'm not watching this movie, or I'm not, you know, doing this or whatever. And, you know, because a lot of Hollywood was promoting a lot of things that, you know, I didn't agree with. But I would just say, you know what? They're entertainers, and I'm going to take them out of the box, and I'm going to allow them to entertain me, and then I'm going to put them back in the box and shut the lid, and I'm going to be done with them. Our pastor had said that probably about a year ago. He had said, because a lot of people were boycotting Target. He was like, and he didn't say anything about Target. He was just like, you know, you don't go to places because they don't, believe what you believe, like he was basically saying it's ridiculous to do that, like you just shouldn't stop living life because you don't agree with something somebody does. And, it made a lot of sense when he said that. And so, life is much easier. But yeah, Tamara and Eddie are still married. Yes. Heather's husband needs to stop getting work done. His nose is huge now, and he's a plastic surgeon. I'm like, my goodness. In Wisconsin, it's a starter home as well. Interesting. So it's not just Callie. Yeah. That's typically me too, Donna. But now I'm into The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is on Prime, and that darn OC Housewives. Oh. And I liked New Jersey too. I watched New Jersey, but they didn't. I think they got canned. I don't think everybody was over the Teresa and Melissa drama, and so yeah. They're so Marie. That's all they do is fight. I think that's why New Jersey Housewives is no longer on, because the fighting was not, it wasn't just arguing. It was like violent. Teresa would get violent. The way they get violent with one another, it's like, it's crazy. And for a long time, there was a lot of talk. I think it was last year or the year before, there was a lot of talk about how Bravo was pushing the alcohol on these shows, like on the women, like putting them in positions to where like parties and restaurant, like places where the alcohol would flow freely. And when people get drunk, drama happens. And so there was a lot of ex-housewives that were coming out and saying that was part of what, Bravo was doing. And so, so that's pretty interesting to me. But you know what, Mary, I'm the same way. I watch OC Housewives and I watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. Mostly everything I watch is on YouTube or YouTube TV. Oh, that's another thing that happened today. I panicked because I got a text from my credit card company. I had a day. It was a day of fraud. I call this fraud scares. I was like freaked out. And it said that a $450 payment was declined. Contact them, blah, 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 or sign into my account. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody stole my card. This is what I'm telling you. Like, I think fraud is so prominent right now that the credit card companies, like, even to go sign into my account, they have to text me a number to like put in a verification code or email me one. Anyway, so I panicked. I send Ernie the text and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I call and it was YouTube TV, but they gave me instructions on what to do. So I followed all the instructions. And I was like, oh my God, the grandkids were just here. Did the babies? They were in the bedroom. I'm like, did they buy stuff with my remote control? Like, I was panicked, right? $450. What the heck? But, it wasn't a normal purchase. So that's why the bank declined it, or the credit card company declined it, which I was so thankful for. So I did all the things they told me to do. And when I signed in, it was for the NFL ticket. $450 for the NFL ticket. And I told Ernie, sorry, we're going to have to find an illegal way to watch the Charger games. I'm not paying $450. That's ridiculous. Not only that, but you don't even get to see all the games. We paid last year. It was not $450. It was up there, but it was not that much. And there were still games that were blacked out. I'm telling you what, I'm over the streaming thing. Like, I'm over it all. You have to have a subscription. I kid you not, I pay more now for all these different things to watch because I want to watch a show and it's over on this thing and I have to, subscribe to it, or this show and I have to subscribe to that and, and all the things. And I think I pay more now in subscriptions than I did for cable. It's wild. It really is just wild. But if you do cable, does cable even exist anymore? Number one. And number two, if you do cable, it doesn't matter because they have all these packages and you could buy the most expensive package, but maybe it doesn't include Pluto or Netflix or Paramount or what are all the other things, and those guys want $15 a month or $12 a month. You add all of that together and you're paying up the yin yang just to watch a few darn shows. It's like ridiculous anymore. I'm over it. I'm so over it. Take me back to old school with the rabbit ears and and I'll change the channel and give me a phone that's attached to the wall. Like I'm over all the new and improved nonsense. It's just ridiculous. Maybe I need a dish. I don't know. It's just wild. The game, listen, it's hard to find the games, period. But they sell you on YouTube TV this NFL ticket for all that money, right? And then we still have games that are blacked out that we can't watch, that we can absolutely not watch. And we've paid the money for the ticket and we still can't watch them. It's ridiculous. I can't. Oh boy, we have a pig in the room. Please hold. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Every once in a while we get an animal that shows up in the group. Yeah, I saw him. Thanks, guys. You guys are sweet. Yeah, back to simpler times. I'm telling you what. Kids played outside. We drank from the hose. We watched TV with rabbit ears. I mean, give me that all day long. All of this technology that everybody thinks is so great. And I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody, but I'm over the park in a spot and have people come deliver your stuff to your car. I get that people have kids and, what have you and all that things, but oh my God, how did I do it with 3 kids? How did I go to the grocery store with 3 kids? How did I get things done with 3 kids? I don't know, but I didn't have special parking where people would bring the stuff out, and I get it's the times, but it's annoying because they're always in the front of the store. And it's like, I'm a paying customer. I want to go in. And I honestly think that malls are a thing of yesteryear. I haven't been to a crowded mall. I mean, our mall is pretty darn crowded. It's an outdoor mall. So it's more like, I don't know, it's a beautiful outdoor mall and it's always crowded. The parking lot's always full. But the malls, remember Malls of America where you like walk in and whatever, every time I go into one of those, they're just dead. And there's so many stores that are closed. And it's because of Amazon, which I'm guilty of ordering from them. And what's the other one? I can't remember it. There's another one. I don't order from it, but there's another one that's very popular. People order from. And so, I know I'm over it all. I'm just over it. Like, I don't know. No offense to real pigs. Okay, you have to watch. Oh gosh, Prancer, I have to tell you the name of this channel. Oh, what is the name of it? It's 2 young girls. They're 14 and 16. You would love their show. They are the daughters of, they're farmers. They're 14 and 16-year-old farmers. They're homeschooled. Beautiful family, all girls. I think there's a total of like 7 girls, and those 2 are the oldest. And it's crazy. They do more before 9 p.m. than most people, 9 a.m. than most people do their entire day or their entire week, these girls. I mean, and so yesterday they did, so she has a pig. So they have, obviously you might not like it because they're ranchers. So they milk their cows. So they have milking cows, they have beef cows. So they have animals on their farm that, for food, and then they have pets. So yesterday they did all the pets. So one of her pigs is called Daddy. I think his name is Daddy, and he's so stinking cute. I just love him. I eat meat. But I don't eat nearly as much meat as I used to because of all the homesteaders. I don't understand how you can raise an animal and give them a name and then put them in the trailer and take them to freezer camp and then barbecue them that night. I don't get it. I could never do that. I couldn't. No offense to them. Lots of people do it. I'm not, but hey, as long, if I don't know the animal and I want a steak, I'm going to eat it. But I love all my animals have names, even the ones that I don't own that come visit me. And I know that people eat these rabbits and it just makes me sad to think about. So anyways, these girls, they have pets. So they have like pet rat, they have tons of guinea pigs. They're just like animal lovers, all these cats, because they have, it's a farm, so they have barn cats, house cats. They have cows. They have, their milking cows are so stinking smart. They have, their horses, of course. They've got everything on their farm. Rabbits, their meat rabbits that they have, and then they've got pet rabbits, and so they're just, it's crazy. And so people get offended when they watch these poor little girls. They're 14 and 16 and they get offended. They're like, I can't believe that you eat your pets. And these girls are raised on a farm. And on a farm, people will tell you they're not our pets. We take care of them because, they treat their animals humanely, but they raise them for food. That's just the way they roll. 14 years. Is that normal? Oh my gosh, how did he come back? Report. There we go. All right. Sorry, guys. I don't know how he came back. What the heck? Okay. Anyways, so there's that. But the girls are super. It's super cool to watch them that age, and they're homeschooled, and homeschooling is part of the taking care of the farm is part of their homeschooling, and they're amazing. They drive tractors, and it's just wild to watch them, take care of the farm animals. They milk the cows, and take the milk in, and they strain it, I guess. They do all the things because they drink raw milk, and it's wild to watch these kids, live that kind of life. It's amazing. I love it. I think it's so cool. So anyways, all right, guys. Well, I've been on for an hour and 22 minutes, so I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me. I enjoy hanging out with you guys all the time. But don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. The video is going to go live. We are starting on that's what the next videos are going to be about until I'm done. The guest room makeover. I'm super excited. Tomorrow we pick the paint color. You guys are going to help me. And then we can get to painting as soon as we figure out the paint color. So don't forget to tune in. Hope to see you guys there. We'll talk to you then. Bye.